we're live.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the board. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Roll. David. Carl.
Carl Bletcher, present, Groseal Township.
Uda.
You're muted.
Uda.
Mute.
Thank you.
President, Groseal Township.
Mr. Jarecki
Present, Groseal Township.
and Jameson.
Present, Groseal Township.
And I am Groseal Township. Thank you. Additions and deletions, we have a couple. David, do you want to?
Yeah, thanks, Jim. At this time, I'd like to make a motion to delete action item 2, which is the mass notification services contract.
Support.
Thank you. A little background on that. I'm going to actually let Ryan give us a background on that. I don't know if Dave has it. David, do you?
I've got it here. This is it was contemplated that we would move from the company that we use for GI Connect, and that's been changed our mind on going with the new company, so we're staying with the same company. There's no reason for the to accept the new contract.
Right. We weren't in a position to move to the new company because no departments could do. All right. Any questions from any of the board members on that? If not, I have a motion to delete action item number 2, mass notification service contract. Jameson,
Aye.
Mr. Jarecki,
Aye.
Yes.
Carl,
Aye.
Joe,
Aye.
David,
Aye.
and I. Action item number 2 is deleted. Anything else?
Yes.
Okay.
Motion to add action item number 3, police on new hire.
Support.
Second.
Thank you.
The,
I don't know that there should be any, we know this combination of going out to hire. Any questions on it? Seeing, asking to add action item number 3, police officer new hire. David,
Aye.
Joe,
Aye.
Carl,
Aye.
Aye.
Mr. Jarecki,
Aye.
and
Aye.
and I vote aye. So we will have act number 3 added, police officer new hire. Anything? Not hearing anything. Like to hear a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
I'd like to move to approve the agenda as amended.
Thank you. And with Carl,
Aye.
Uda,
Aye.
Joe,
Aye.
Jameson,
Aye.
Mr. Jarecki,
Aye.
David,
Aye.
and I. The agenda as amended is approved. No presentations tonight, so we will move to public on agenda items. Please state your name and where you live. Limited to 3 minutes. Ryan?
Sorry, we're having a little with Facebook.
Okay.
We have public comment. I'm sorry.
Yes, that's where we're at, public comment.
Okay, if anyone has any public comment, raise their hand. Use the raise your hand feature. This is just on agenda items. And I am seeing no one.
Okay. Then we will move to the consent agenda. Mr. Nadu. David?
Thank you. I'd like to make a motion to approve consent agenda 21-051. And the agenda consists of the minutes of the October 25th, 2021 regular meeting of the board, check registers dated through November 5, 2021, and approval to pay bills through December 3rd, 2021.
Second,
Okay, we have a motion for the consent agenda and a second. Any questions regarding any of that? Hearing none. Mr. Bletcher,
Aye.
Mr. Porcerelli,
Aye.
Jameson,
Aye.
Uda,
yes,
Mr. Jarecki,
Aye.
David,
Aye.
and I vote aye. Consent agenda is approved. Action items. Joe, I believe the first one is yours.
Yes, I move Grosse Ile Township Board authorizes work totaling $6,570.50 with Fire Equipment Company Incorporated for repairs associated with fire safety equipment at the Grosse Ile Municipal Airport / Commerce Park.
I'll support that. Brief history, Joe, what
Yes.
we're dealing with here.
Yeah, annually, the airport facilities are inspected by the fire marshal for safety compliance. During this year's inspection, a variety of deficiencies were identified. The airport solicited quotes for remedying these issues identified by the fire marshal at the time. Attached are 2 quotes for the required work and repairs needed to bring the airport into compliance. Fire Equipment Company was the lower of the 2 bids. And
Thank
those
you.
are, oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
the 2 bids are attached and it was
Yeah.
quite a bit lower, so.
Thank you. And any questions on that? On this item? Pretty straightforward. Hearing none, we have a motion that the Grosse Ile Township Board authorize work totaling $6,570.50 with Fire Equipment Company, Inc. for repairs associated with fire safety equipment at the Grosse Ile Municipal Airport, Commerce Park. Mr. Jarecki,
Aye.
Joe,
Aye.
Uda,
Muted.
yes,
okay, thank you. Carl,
Aye.
Jameson,
Aye.
David,
Aye.
and I vote aye. The Commerce Park Airport will get their fire equipment up to speed. Thank you, everybody. And Mike?
Yes. So I have a recommendation of the Groselle Police Commission, we ask the Township Board approval to hire Mr. Corey King as the police officer at the Groselle Township Police Department, effective November 22nd, 2021. We are currently down 2 officers.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yep.
Second.
Thank you. Okay, Mike.
I mean, the short version is we're currently down 2 officers in October. In recognition of that, we interviewed 5 officers or potential officers and candidates, and there were 3 very good ones. This individual was at the top of the class, and he has cleared the background check. And then, pending physical and psychological drugs and drug screening, we are recommending his hire.
Very good. And yes, Uda, question.
Yeah, Mr. Supervisor, I reached out to Interim Chief Brent Harden earlier today to ask him about the process, and I see he's in on the meeting. And I'm just curious if he would like to say anything towards this. I understand he and his leadership team interviewed the candidates and consider this to be a top-notch candidate, but I thought it would be very nice to hear it from the interim chief.
Only if he wishes to do so. Brent, do you have any comment regarding this? Any more than,
Can you hear me?
yes,
Can you hear me?
yes, Brent.
Okay. I'm losing my voice today, so I'll do my best.
Okay,
No, it was unanimous between the police commission and the administration of the police department with the assistance of Lieutenant Carmack and Sergeant Brozek. This is a real solid candidate. He lives on Groselle already, and we're fully supporting his hire. He comes from Detroit, and he's going to be a stellar officer and an enhancement to the Groselle Police Department.
when you say he's from Detroit, he works in Detroit, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, thank you. All right, anything else?
Thank you, Chief.
Not hearing any other questions or comments. We have a motion on the recommendation of the Groselle Police Commission. The Township Board approved the hire of Mr. Corey King as a police officer with the Groselle Township Police Department effective November 22nd, 2021. Carl?
Aye.
David?
Aye.
Uda?
Aye.
Mr. Jarecki?
Aye.
Joe?
Aye.
Jameson?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Welcome aboard, Mr. King. Thank you, everybody, for that. That takes care of our action items. Moving along, reports. Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. As you all know, it's been a very quiet election year for Groselle Clerk's office. So we haven't had too many things to say, but next year it's going to be a full ramped up year of elections. And so it's never too early to put out the notice to our residents that we are looking for election poll inspectors and people to work on the election process. If you're interested, please reach out to Deputy Clerk Brian Friel at the Groselle Clerk's office. Also, if you have recently moved or sold your house or moved somewhere on the island, it's time to update your address and your contact information so that when we send out absentee ballot applications, etc., that we are reaching you at your correct address. And finally, if you're a student or a first-time voter, it's a good time to come into the Township Hall and show your ID so that you are actually eligible to vote absent the next time an election comes around. I don't foresee any future lockdowns during next election cycle, but you never know. So it's always good to be prepared. Another final thing from the Fire Commission. I am the board liaison to the Fire Commission. The commission has moved its November meeting to November 18. So instead of meeting this Thursday, we are meeting on Thursday, November 18, 6 p.m. at Township Hall. And the reason for the change, of course, is Veterans Day. And so with that, that is the clerk's report. Thank you.
Madam Clerk, may I ask where exactly you will be meeting at Township Hall? Do you know?
Yeah, we meet, well, as far as I understand, we had our last meeting and this meeting will be in the boardroom.
Because there is you need to check on that because there is actually a scheduled meeting of one of the other commissions on that night.
Okay.
Well,
then
and in fact, there's another commission that is also meeting that. We got 3 commission meetings that night. So check with Margie and get a room.
We'll mention that then to Dawn and to Chief Beaudry. And if push comes to shove, we can do the meeting as a Zoom meeting, which then also, of course, makes it easy for the public to participate.
Right,
So,
and that would be the main thing, to be leading the public to the right place for that.
absolutely. Well, thank you for that correction, Mr. Supervisor.
All right, Treasurer's Report.
Thank you, Mr. Budney. This is nothing but good news. The 21-22 winter tax bills will be mailed out the first full week in December. And the due date for our winter taxes is February 14th, 2022. And a reminder, those who qualify may apply for a deferment of the 2022 winter tax dates, which will extend the due date to April 1st of 2022. Residents can either contact the treasurer's office to receive a deferment form or on the township's the treasurer's website, the township website on the treasurer's page shows the qualifications for receiving a deferment. And as a reminder, property owners will be mailed the original winter tax bill. And if you pay via your mortgage company through an escrow account, those companies requesting bills are mailed duplicate copies of the billing. And if you are unsure if your mortgage company has requested your tax bill, again, please contact the treasurer's office to confirm that. And as always, 2022 pet tags are available at the treasurer's office at the cashier's window. Fee is currently $6. And you can also get the permit and license for the dog park at the same time. And that's it on the treasurer's report. The DPS meeting for this month will be held tomorrow, 11/9, November 9th at 7 o'clock. And on Wednesday, Community Recreation Commission meeting, Wednesday, November 10th. And this week, that's starting at 5:30. We're having a study session immediately prior to the meeting to talk about capital improvements for the Recreation Department. And that concludes my report for the evening.
Thank you, David. Mr. Jarecki.
Yes, so we recently had a resignation of a part-time dispatcher, and we're out advertising again for the dispatcher position. It's a good job, and I encourage folks out there in the community that have interest and have some training and, dispatching or customer service to look into it. We've had a difficult time getting qualified candidates, and I think it's a good job. It pays a good salary and benefits, and I think people that are interested in that type of work should really look into it. The deer call, we've applied for winter permits, and we haven't heard back, but that would be an extension to what took place in the fall, and so far it's encouraging. I think we're looking for a couple hundred permits to start with, and we'll see how that goes. I have been involved with the creation of the 5-year high-level, and I do say high-level financial plan, but I think I know Derek and Ann have been working, and Dave, I think you've been involved as well. I just say that there's going to be a study session, I believe, on November 29th. And I think people, that are concerned with the finances of the township should participate. I think it should be really, really interesting. And it's done in such a way that I think it will be easy to understand from a lay person's perspective as to what impact the plan will have on them in terms of their taxes. So I think they're doing a great job, and I'm glad it's getting done. And that's it for me.
Thank you. Joe,
Uta had a question, Jim.
I'm sorry. I was looking down, my fault. Uta, go ahead.
That's okay. I was going to ask Mike while he was, about the first item. I know applications will be available at the clerk's office and online, but is there special education or training needed for somebody to apply for a dispatch job?
I am not an expert at that, so I would ask Brent to answer that question. I think it would be typical, phone experience and logistics coordination, things of that sort, but I know Brent could do a far better job than I could if he's on there somewhere.
Yep, he is.
Brent? Nope.
Yeah, we're looking for a high school graduate, and then we'd like to have somebody that's computer literate, has good working knowledge with Word and Excel with the Microsoft platform, and that can multitask. So that's one of the biggest things we're looking for, is somebody that can do multiple jobs and not feel overwhelmed. And just apply if you're interested. It's a good entry-level job, and it gives good benefits, and the opportunity is there for somebody that's looking for a full-time position.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you.
Anyone else? If not, we'll move to Joe.
Thank you, Jim. I sit on the Airport Commerce Park Commission. The meetings are the third Mondays of each month, and the meetings are in the boardroom at the Township at 6 p.m. Everything is running fairly smooth still. Janelle is the interim manager at this time, and she's been working with a lot of different agencies. She's been exposed to MDOT and FAA and so forth, and things seem to be running smooth until they figure out their pick for manager at the airport, which will go to the Township Board for their vote. So everything else there is still going ahead and running smooth. And there was no meeting in between the last board meeting and this one. So that's all I have for tonight, Jim.
Thank you. Jameson.
Hey, good evening, everyone. We did not have a ZBA meeting since our last board meeting, so I have no report in that regard. If you need a zoning board variance or would like to seek one, just go see Lori up at Township Hall. In the meantime, I would like us to talk about hybrid meetings at some point. I know we've brought it up a couple times, but the ability to do both Facebook and in-person meetings would enable everyone to participate. People that can't make it up to the Township Hall or
You muted yourself, Jameson.
Jameson, you muted yourself.
Oops.
Yep. You muted yourself there, so we missed some of what you had to say.
Yeah, I'm sorry. My daughter dialed in. I was just saying I think that we should look into hybrid meetings soon. I think it'd be a good way for us to reach all islanders, the ones that are concerned about COVID and want to meet over Zoom, and the ones that want to come into the board. Some of the other regional townships are doing that as well. So
All right, good enough. I will make a note of that. Is that it, Jameson? I guess that is. Mr. Bletcher.
Good evening and thank you, everybody. I have the pleasure of sitting on two commissions as liaison. The first is the Bicycle Pedestrian Advisory Commission. The report this month is actually a bit of a sad one because we've had something like 300 people in Facebook that have come in to advise that we have graffiti on the bridge over the canal between Lowry and Ferry. Got a phone call from a resident on Thursday, late Thursday afternoon. I went out shortly afterward and I counted 11 different places on that bridge where there had been graffiti, something maybe as simple as a smiley face, something with maybe eyes and a nose or something, and then some other graffiti that was just facing a very, very expensive bridge, and it's not something that should be happening. It hasn't been happening for many years, and now we seem to have that. I contacted Brian Pollock. I asked Brian Pollock to get a hold of the person that had built the bridge, Wes Pfeiffer, so we can get the lot number and try and match and clean it up. We did have several citizens that indicated they wanted to go out there and scrub it and clean it, and please do not do that. If they use a material that doesn't remove the stain, then you've spread it, and it perhaps may repel any kind of cleaning agent or something that we can put over that. And the second thing was the observation deck had some terrible graffiti to it. Typically words that are not for any kind of decent company, and it's just unnecessary. And we have the same problem there. Now you have to go out, try and clean it up or stain over it, and it really is so unnecessary. I can't begin to emphasize how that observation deck was recently rebuilt. A lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of money. And this is the kind of stuff that really reflects poor on the community. You don't know who's done it, whether it's adults or juveniles, resident or non-resident. But if you see something and you see people out there, please call the police department and 676-7100. If there's a vehicle with a license plate or anything like that, please take the time to see what's going on and make a call to the police department. Like to get a hand on this, as Pam Frusci used to say, litter begets litter, graffiti begets more graffiti. And this is something that we don't need to do. Second commission that I belong to is the Greenways Open Space. You will note that we have a ever increasing pile of wood chips along Meridian across from the Meridian School. That is because we have not been able to go in and drop the gravel and put in a culvert in an area of the trail that's very close, fairly close to the front, probably about 150 yards. That is the traverse from a vernal wetland. I understand from Peter Kantz that that is a wetland that arises in the spring only, although this year it seems to have been unending because of all the rain that we have. And without being able to put a culvert in because of the damage that would be done to the trail, we can't put the wood chips in. No culvert, no stone over the culvert, no wood chips, so they continue to pile up. That may be a project as the ground firms, but John Keim with the DPS is on top of it, and he understands what we need to do there and with the Ferry Trail. So looking forward to getting that done. If you do find graffiti, if I can backtrack for a moment, if you do find graffiti on any of the bridges that are part of the bicycle pedestrian pathway, I am asking that you call the township offices 676-4422 extension 210 and talk to Margie Gape. Margie will then let us know where and what, and we can get that taken care of. So again, general offices 676-4422, and that's extension 210. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Carl. Township Attorney, Mr. Assorti, do you have anything for us tonight?
I really don't have anything for you. 33rd District Court is proceeding as usual. We're still not having defendants in unless they're scheduled for trial or there's a, they're in custody or in a hearing. Everything else is via Zoom, except for the local prosecutors who are attending to assist the judges. But I'm always around if anybody has any questions. I know there's been a couple things that come up, and I'll be happy to. I'm always around if anybody wants to get a hold of me. Thanks.
Thank you, Tom. Derek, Manager's Report.
Just a couple items for tonight, some updates. Working on streamlining the bridge RFQ right now, as well as doing some research on some other firms to distribute that document to. So that's in process. As Trustee Jarecki had mentioned earlier, we have a study session for that 5-year plan scheduled for November 29th. We're continuing to advertise, recruit, and interview candidates for the variety of positions we have available. I would expect that we'll have a fair number of recommendations available for the Township Board to consider at our meeting in December. As Treasurer Nadeau had mentioned, DPS meeting tomorrow evening and a public meeting for the Grozia Army Corps of Engineers report for the airport will be held on November 30th. That was the meeting that was rescheduled from September that had to be canceled because of some scheduling conflicts. So that meeting, I believe, is at 6 o'clock and will be web-based. December 3rd is the Island Glow, and this is the last meeting before Thanksgiving. So to all of you and all those watching, have a happy Thanksgiving. That's all I have.
Thank you, Derek.
Jim, may I ask him a question?
Yep, absolutely, Joe.
Thanks, Jim. Derek, just to make sure, when I was talking with a gentleman in Louisville, Kentucky, on the first, I'm talking about the meeting for the Army Corps of Engineers, you said it was web-based, which means they're not going to be at Township Hall?
Correct. What I have is that it's gonna be via WebEx. And there'll be 2 sessions, one at 6 to 7 and one from 7 to 8. So, and there's a link, I'm sure we can post that on the website for those that are interested in attending.
Okay, if you're sure of that, and I spoke to him and he said it was at the hall, but that's okay then. I'm sure that you're correct.
It may have changed. This is the latest that I have that was sent to me on October 5th.
So it'll be the same as a Zoom meeting.
Right, yeah, they're just using some different platform. So,
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. If you can put that on, there are some people interested in going on the 30th, starts at 6. And if you can put that on there, week or so before, whatever you can do.
I'll send it to Brian right now.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jim.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions for Derek? If not, I have a very brief report. Job-wise, right now, I believe we got 7 different jobs out there. Some management, some employee jobs. So the township is runs very much on a one-man job. So we don't have a lot of people to backfill positions when somebody leaves. So we have to deal with that. So there might be a slowdown in service for a small time while we're filling these jobs. Hopefully, as the people leave, we'll actually be able to be hiring right at pretty much the same point and get the new person on board and not have a problem. But we do have, I believe, like I say, right now, I believe we have 7 openings. So bear with us. The other thing near and dear to it should be to everybody's heart that now that we're into November, and easing into the end of fall, the bridge opening, the contractor for the piers is demobilizing this week. Their work is done. So all we have to do is finish the structure. The good news is that we are on schedule to open late fall. Nobody's going to give a date for it because it is pretty much in flux. Besides getting the work done, once the work is done, there has to be an inspection by the state. To my knowledge, they're starting to do that. They will start to do that with the piers. It won't be waiting for everything to be done before the inspection starts. So that's good news. But the good news is we are on schedule to open in late fall. So I echo what Derek said. We will not have another meeting before Thanksgiving. So to all of Groseal, a very happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy your family and friends and a good meal. And with that, let's move to public comment. Public comment, 3 minutes on any topic. Again, state your name and where you live. And Ryan, I will hand it over to you.
Okay, just before I call on somebody, just make sure you raise your hand either in your video or use your raise hand function on Zoom. And it looks like we've got Judy Mega.
Judy, thank you for being number one here, Judy.
Hi, everybody. Good evening. Just a couple things. The community advisor.
Judy,
yes.
Name and address, please.
Sorry. Judy Mega, 24655 Lafayette, Groseal. The community advisory group on the McCall Steel met on last Thursday night. Not a lot of news. There's a new EPA person assigned, and there's a new engineer / project manager from Wayne County. Nabil has moved on to other jobs. And so the final report is not done yet, but they expect it to be done by our next meeting, which is in February. So that might be a good time to have somebody from the township there. There's talk of, cementing more who's appearing from what city for those kind of meetings. But it was kind of no news is good news, I guess, kind of thing. Nothing's happening right now. The EPA inspection is still ongoing. What else? I am doing, this is my 13th year helping to organize a coat drive for Project Homeless Connect through Wayne Metropolitan Action Agency and Wyandotte. They have an event on November 17th at, it's being held this year at Our Lady of the Angels in Taylor. And it's for homeless families from out county, Wayne County, which does not include Detroit. So it's all the other cities in Wayne County, and there's many, many more families than people realize. So if anybody has any coats to donate, they can drop them off at my house. My address is on the flyer. And there's also, I'm going to be at the Township Hall parking lot with Mr. Budney's permission that I got earlier on this Saturday morning from 9 to 12. I'll be there if anybody has coats to drop off. Coats, boots, gloves, any kind of winter wear, it can certainly be used. And or you can drop them off at my husband's office in Lincoln Park if that's easier for people too. So lots of options, or you can text me and I'll pick them up. We had a great response last year, and they were overwhelmed with how many we were able to collect. So I thought I had something else, but for the life of me, I can't remember it now. So thank you.
Thank you, Judy.
Okay, Kathy Walker.
Hi, Kathy.
Hello, how are you? 26051 Thorpe Court, get that out of the way. First off, I noticed it was 7 o'clock again tonight and I was late. Are you gonna stay at 7? Are you gonna vote on that? Or are you gonna keep
We are,
it?
we are still in our test period, but it seems to be working well, and I think we'll discuss that and see if we make that permanent.
Didn't you discuss it 3 times already and it was voted down every time?
No,
I remember hearing votes.
good.
Should I check? You didn't vote, you're saying to me?
On this last one, we talked about it.
No, the last one, but you had other times when you brought
Yes.
it up and they were voted
Yes.
down. Okay, I thought it was.
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
Okay,
6
well-
o'clock, 6:30 was voted down.
Oh, okay, good. All right, so anyways, it was a little early for me, but you know, I'll go with the flow, whatever happens. And I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. And that's it.
Thank you, Kathy.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, do we have any other public comment tonight? Bill Heil.
Bill? You're on mute, Bill.
There we go.
There we go.
I'd like to comment briefly on what Judy Mega said about the CAG.
Bill? Name and address, please.
Bill Heil, 29228 East River.
Thank you.
It was noted that representation, not by the community of Grosse Ile with people, but by the government of Grosse Ile at the CAG meetings was not taking place. And I share the opinion that our government representative need be there. The issues that are being addressed have sincere, meaningful consequence to our life in a variety of ways. And the awareness allows us to knowingly talk to the EPA, Eagle, our congressman, to discuss on our behalf what we feel the concerns that are coming forth from this are. We do have a dog in the fight, okay? And that's an old saying that came from Brian, and I'm not there to criticize that. Everybody has a right to an opinion. But it would be meaningful, in my opinion, for someone to regularly attend who is a representative of our community government. Thank you.
Thanks, Bill.
Okay, do we have any other public comment tonight?
Like to,
Kevin Flavin.
Hello, I'd like to, Kevin Flavin, Park Lane, Grosse Ile. I'd like to reiterate the statements already made about having meetings in person for the public to attend. We have all the commission meetings now are in person with people attending in person. People are attending other large group events, and it doesn't seem that we should still be having the Zoom meetings when there are people that are able to attend in person. And it seems like this might be an effort to avoid meeting with the public, which certainly misses the spirit of the Open Meetings Act. So I'm hoping that that will change as soon as possible. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, do we have any other public comment tonight?
Brian, this is Bob Z. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Brian? I have no video, so I can't see you. I don't know if you can see me.
We can't see you, but we can hear you.
Okay. May I comment?
Absolutely.
Tell me when.
Yo, you're up. Go for it.
You're on.
Oh, okay. Hi, B. This is Bob Z. Belt, Grosse Ile. I'd like to reimburse what Kevin just said. I think it's past time to start having live or hybrid meetings. I mean, if we're gonna say it's a health issue, I'm gonna say that's a little past. We've got football games that are having 100,000 people. We've got arenas that are open, indoor. We've got bars, restaurants. Our commission meetings are live. Very disappointed that 4 votes are stopping all these requests of these people to have these live or hybrid meetings. I would ask the board to, let's move into the future here. Let's move on. Everybody else has. Let's have a live or a hybrid meeting on December 13th. I think everybody would look forward to that. On the other issue, Jim, you had mentioned a few meetings back that you were going to do your Q&A in October, and I just wondered, where does that program sit right now?
Well, I believe that I probably won't start the Q&A until the first of the year.
First of the year?
Yeah, January.
Okay. All right. Again, I would encourage the leaders of this township to let's start having live meetings. I mean, it's the request of many people. To be stopped by a vote of 4 is starting to become a little discouraging. There is no reason why we shouldn't be having live and hybrid meetings. So again, I'm looking forward to one on the 13th. I hope you people can deliver.
I guess that's it for Bob.
Okay, Greg Carmazin.
Oh, hi, Greg Carmazin, resident of Clinton Township, homeowner taxpayer 212280 East River. I wanted to follow up on the comments, public comments that I do believe that it is time to start in-person meetings. I think the hybrid though is the best option, because there certainly are people that want to protect themselves from the possibility of COVID. And certainly, even though I believe it's the case that Roseal has the highest rate of vaccination in Downriver, I believe it's somewhere around 80% from figures I saw in Bridge Magazine. It's higher than I think every other community in Downriver, and we haven't had many incidents. Still, in all fairness to those that are concerned about it, having the hybrid is I think the best option for maximizing public participation. And there's a good model. Trenton, the city of Trenton has been doing hybrid meetings since I think June or July of this year. And I've watched several of them, and they work very well. I mean, it's seamlessly integrated into the council being all present. And I think it's a great option even when COVID's over. For people that are traveling or have to work late or have family care responsibilities, this really is something that I think should be a permanent way of doing business. So I encourage the board to talk to the city of Trenton, see how they're doing it, follow that model or another one if there's a better one. But this can be done. Roseal should be doing this. Also on the bridge, very encouraging to hear about the progress on the bridge. I'm glad to hear towards the bridge reopening in hopefully it sounds like soon in December at the latest. But I do think that the bridge engineer is still important. We did see Congress this week pass a bipartisan agreement on the infrastructure funding. I saw several press reports that there are literally billions of dollars that are going to be coming to the state of Michigan for road and bridge improvements. And I think it's pretty clear that the work on the county bridge is not going to be finished when only 5 or 6 rather of the 11 piers are repaired. That's what's going on right now. So 5 of those piers, some of them that have had defects that have been noted for over a decade, and certainly in the last couple reports have shown by the county's own consulting engineers have recommended that repairs be done. So I would just encourage the township to proceed with that bridge engineer proposal and to become an advocate for islanders to get those other 5 piers funded. This is maybe our one shot at getting that money.
Greg,
Strong argument.
wrap it up, please.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Okay. And that is being looked into. Anybody else? Ryan?
I am not seeing anyone.
Not seeing anyone. I will entertain a motion.
So moved. I made a motion to adjourn.
Yeah, yes, you did.
Second. Support.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Hearing none, we are adjourned. Everybody, happy Thanksgiving.
Likewise,
Happy Thanksgiving.
everybody.
Take care, everybody.
See ya.
Good night.